think for me, language is a part of the diversity of our different cultures. It's a part of the culture, and I think we would lose our own culture, we would lose our own language, and that's for me the most important advantage of our language diversity. And what else?
So would you see this process of globalization as sharing one's culture and language, or as I don't know, forcing one language only and one culture only upon the others?
I think it's an exchange. As we exchange also our cultures, I think we will learn from you, and you will learn from us. And everybody's learning from each other. We also we need our different cultures and our different languages to learn from each other, because otherwise we would be just one unique world. And okay, it sounds nice to be one unique world, but I think it's.
In what sense can we be one world only, one united world? What do you think this should mean, or what do you think they want it to mean? One Europe only, one united Europe, united in one sense.
I think what we already have now, that we have a common market for employment market. I think that's great that now we have no longer these borders what we had. But in all the other cases, I can just point it out again. I like our specialist. I like that. Yeah, that we have still different food. We have still different behaviors, and we are not just one people.
Yes, the same piece of the same puzzle. Yeah. So, do you think we should put these specificities to work within this common European context to use them as tools for further united Europe, and still have the specificities within?
Yes, I think it should be one of the main targets that we. I think our generation is already, my generation, not yours, is already losing a bit these specificities. But I think the generation of my kids, I'm afraid that they will, a couple of years, they will never see any differences. They will come here and we see, okay, everybody, always the same food, same clothing, same shops. Why should it make sense to? I think it's also nice for me, at least, to say, okay, I'm from, for example, in my case, I'm from not only I'm not a German. I don't feel at first as a German. I feel as a person from my little region, and I'm proud of be a local there, and I think it will help all of us that we look for our heritages, for our cultural heritages. Because if you only feel that European, why should you be proud on Yash? Or why should I be proud on my home, on my hometown?
Okay.
If you feel only as European.
So you see this sharing also as looking back into your own traditions and customs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And finding out more about ourselves.
Because I see, if you see the United States, they just we are America, but they believe in other they have other priorities which I not agree with it. Yeah. It's just the country of it's not a country with the same culture like you or we can be proud on it, and we would lose it. That's my point of view.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is Europäisch? I think I would be a wealthy man if I could give a concise answer to that. Europäisch, is quite likely well, a state of mind. It's a geographical term. It has become a term of certain belongings to the Western Hemisphere. It's very difficult. It's very difficult as well since there are more concepts in terms of political representation. We've got the European Union, the most powerful. We have got the core European Union already adopted the euro as a currency. And then we have, the Council of Europe, which is influential in its ideas, but powerless in its means. And so we haven't got a representation, we haven't got symbols. I think the ancient Greek symbol, Europa, being taken away by Zeus, who appears in form of the bull. That's not a symbol for nowadays Europe. Europäisch probably is best reflected in a state of being. A state of being, knowing we have a tradition which is basically a Christian tradition, but of course knowing that Christian tradition had been reformulated in the Age of Enlightenment, and we had opened then to many other aspects, and sometimes I think we would need another Age of Enlightenment to come to terms with Europäisch. So it's integrative, and it's identifying, and it's not only segregative. And of course, one thing that strikes me is that Europäisch, we tend to think of European nations, and immediately we come back, well, it's not only nations, it's regions, it's a rich diversity, and it's a rich diversity. Let's say in a small country like Austria, if I go from east to west, I live in totally different areas in terms of dialect, in terms of food, in terms of arranging everyday life. It's very different. And that applies to all of Austria, to all of Europe, in a much larger scale and to a much bigger extent. So what's identifying, integrating? I just don't know. It's probably a state of thinking, a state of communicating, and a state of being.